Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're popping the hood on the modern academic. We're going to deconstruct the highly rigorous standards used to evaluate today's higher education teachers and researchers. You know, higher education is facing absolutely unprecedented pressure right now in the 21st century. The old days, where a professor could just kind of retreat to a dusty office and maybe emerge once a week to deliver a dry monologue, yeah, those days are completely over. The whole definition of a scholar has shifted drastically. It's expanded to meet the insanely complex demands of our rapidly changing world. So let's look at what we fundamentally demand from the minds trusted with shaping our future.
So think about the classic tension we always see in academia. We've all heard the stories, right? You've got the brilliant Nobel-caliber researcher who discovers groundbreaking stuff in the lab, but literally cannot explain it to a room full of freshmen. It just goes right over their heads. Then, on the flip side, you have that super charismatic, entertaining lecturer who totally captivates the audience, but hasn't actually published a new piece of peer-reviewed research in decades. Well, neither of those extremes really works anymore. And this tension is exactly why a new, comprehensive standard is so desperately needed. What actually makes a truly exceptional professor in today's cutthroat, demanding environment? We're going to trace the exact blueprint required to bridge that gap.
Because here's the thing. The era of the human encyclopedia is officially dead. The primary aim of modern academic evaluation is a holistic assessment. It completely shifts the focus away from just reciting facts. I mean, why bother? The internet means that raw information is practically free and sitting right in our pockets. We absolutely do not need scholars who just memorize and regurgitate data. We need dynamic thinkers who can synthesize it all. Modern academia demands the ability to navigate through intense ambiguity, synthesize totally conflicting information, and apply knowledge to unprecedented situations. Basically, the premium skill is no longer just storage, it's active processing.
Let's jump into Section 1, the dual engine of teaching and research.
Now, there is a really profound inherent tension between these two core objectives. On one side, you have teaching aptitude, which demands this very extroverted, empathetic approach. Right? Candidates have to design amazing learning experiences, communicate incredibly complex ideas to total novices, and actually engage a diverse student body. It's basically an outward-facing performance. But then, on the exact opposite side, you have research aptitude. This requires deep, introverted focus. They have to conduct systematic inquiry, meticulously isolate data, and create brand new knowledge. Just think for a second about how incredibly difficult it is for one human brain to seamlessly shift gears from that isolated, meticulous world of data analysis right into the dynamic, emotionally intelligent world of student engagement. Yet, that's the job. A modern scholar is expected to operate both of these engines simultaneously and flawlessly.
Moving right along to Section 2, the academic brain and its underlying cognitive abilities.
Institutions are simply no longer looking for passive vessels of historical knowledge. They are on the hunt for powerful processors, minds that can handle massive degrees of complexity. So it's really not just about what you know anymore. It is entirely about how you think. Candidates are evaluated super heavily on higher-order cognitive skills because, honestly, these are the exact tools you need to navigate global crises, interpret crazy new technologies, and solve problems that literally did not even exist 10 years ago. The modern academic brain has to be this highly adaptable engine.
So, let's view this cognitive toolkit not just as a static list of definitions, but as a live, real-time action sequence. Imagine you're dissecting a highly publicized, super controversial news study. First up, you deploy comprehension to parse through all that dense academic jargon and actually grasp the core argument. Instantly, analysis kicks in. You're breaking down their methodology to see exactly how the variables interact. Right after that comes evaluation. This is where you use critical, unbiased judgment to figure out if their evidence actually holds up or if the whole study is just fundamentally flawed. At the exact same time, you're mapping the structure, tracing their premises to their conclusions to spot any logical leaps. And finally, you execute reasoning. You use deductive reasoning to apply established scientific laws to the specific case, and inductive reasoning to take your observations and build a completely fresh, accurate theory to counter the flawed one. I mean, wow. That is the intense cognitive action sequence expected of every modern academic every single day.
This brings us to Section 3, Mastering the Classroom Experience and Teaching Processes.
Now, taking all that high-level cognitive power and bringing it into a physical room requires a very specific life cycle. An exceptional academic has to architect exactly what will be learned through curriculum design, and then execute the delivery through pedagogy. Then, of course, they have to precisely measure if any learning actually happened during evaluation. But Step 4 is where the true modern challenge kicks in, adapting to learner diversity. Imagine trying to translate incredibly complex theories to a lecture hall filled with students from totally different socioeconomic backgrounds, totally different cultural frameworks, and diverse neurocognitive profiles. Honestly, a brilliant curriculum means absolutely nothing if the educator can't bridge the gap and reach the specific, diverse minds sitting right in front of them. The modern classroom is an incredible melting pot, and adaptability is, without a doubt, the ultimate teaching skill.
And that opens up Section 4, the worldview and social awareness.
You know, the concept of the traditional ivory tower, that place where intellectuals just hide away from the noise of society to ponder abstract thoughts? Well, that image has been completely shattered. Education just doesn't happen in a vacuum anymore. Today's rigorous standards basically force scholars to step out of that vacuum and face the messy, deeply interconnected reality of the real world. A candidate's awareness of major global challenges and environmental interactions isn't just a bonus anymore. It is a core metric of their capability.
Let's put this into perspective. Think about a modern civil engineering professor. In the past, maybe their job was simply to teach the structural physics of concrete and steel. But today, they are expected to go significantly further. They need to teach how to build sustainable infrastructure for communities that are disproportionately impacted by climate change. They're tasked with showing students exactly how their material choices affect the local water supply, resource depletion, and the long-term quality of life for the actual population living there. This is what it really means to link education to sustainable development and foster deep social responsibility. The research and the teaching, they have to actively matter to the world outside the university gates.
Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, the holistic academic profile.
This right here brings us to the ultimate synthesis. And, let's be honest, finding an individual who excels at all of these elements is incredibly rare. We are literally asking for a rigorous, data-driven researcher, a highly empathetic and adaptable teacher, and a socially conscious global citizen, all housed within the exact same person. By demanding this unique combination of intellectual rigor, teaching competence, research orientation, and social awareness, these standards are actively shaping a whole new generation of educators. We're talking about people who are prepared to aggressively advance human knowledge while simultaneously protecting and driving societal well-being. It really is the absolute pinnacle of cognitive skill fused with ethical consciousness.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. How will this holistic standard fundamentally reshape the educators and researchers of our future? Just think about the massive ripple effect this comprehensive blueprint is going to have on the universities of tomorrow, and really on global society at large. Because when we raise the bar this high, moving from basic memorization to demanding advanced cognitive sequences, masterful pedagogical adaptation, and profound social responsibility, we aren't just changing higher education, we're fundamentally altering the trajectory of human progress and innovation. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it gave you a fresh, deeply informed perspective on the incredible standards driving modern academia. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.